Daddy, she can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons? Oh, Daddy, let me go to her. Daddy, she can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons?
Shh, be still
Oh,
and
Daddy,
quiet.
let me go to her.
You've been sleeping for quite a while. I think they noticed. I kidnapped you. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. I am only going to keep you for a little while. Try not to wiggle, though. You're inside something that came from my old pizzeria. I don't think it was ever used. At least not the way it was meant to be used. Too dangerous. It's just big enough for one person to fit inside, but just barely. You're in the scooping room. Do you know why they call it the scooping room? It's because, dummy, this is the room where they use the scooper. I thought that would be obvious. Isn't that a fun name for something? The scooper. It sounds like something you would use for ice cream, or custard, or sprinkles. It sounds like something you would want at your birthday party to ensure that you get a heaping portion of every good thing. I wonder, though, if you were a freshly opened pint of ice cream, how you would feel about something with that name. Thankfully, I don't think a freshly opened pint of ice cream feels anything at all. Uh-oh. It sounds like someone else is in the building. Shh.
More. Okay, stop. Set it down. Watch the step.
What happened to it this time?
Just seems like these things can't go a day without breaking down. Who knows? It's always the same, man. Some kind of hardware malfunction.
Well, hey, I have to be somewhere in 15 minutes, and this place gives me the creeps.
Can we just get this over with? It's all automated. We don't have to be here for it. Just get her on the rollers and we can go.
There's something very important that I've learned how to do over time. Do you know what that is? How to pretend. Do you ever play make-believe? Pretend to be one way when you are really the other. It's very important. But Laura never learns. But I do. They think there is something wrong on the inside. The only thing that matters is knowing how to pretend. I'll open the faceplates for you. That way they can find you on the cameras. Now all you have to do is wait. I'd recommend that you keep the spring locks wound up. Your breathing and your heartbeat are causing them to come loose. You don't want them to get too loose. Trust me. I'll open the faceplates for you. They can find you on the cameras. Now all you have to do is wait. I'd recommend that you keep the spring locks wound up. Your breathing and your heartbeat are causing them to come loose. You don't want them to get too loose. Trust me. I'll open the faceplates for you. That way they can find you on the cameras. Now all you have to do is wait. I'd recommend that you keep the spring locks wound up. Your breathing and your heartbeat are causing them to come loose. You don't want them to get too loose. Trust me.
Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Night 4 on Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. This is probably the hardest night of the main game, and I know a lot of people really struggle with this night, so I'm excited to finally make this guide. Now, before we get into it, I'd like to once again mention my community Discord server. I promise, this is the last time for a while, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows about this. By joining the Discord server, you can get personalized advice on any FNAF game you want. Every now and then, I like to hop into a voice call with a few of you guys and coach you through whichever night you're currently trying to beat. I can identify mistakes and tell you how to fix them, or just give you general advice on what to do. You can also just chill with other members of the community and just talk about FNAF or whatever else. It's really awesome, and I highly recommend joining it by using the link in the description or on my About page. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Night 4. This is a night that relies on precision and game sense, but thankfully has very few RNG components. So let's talk about the basics first. There are 10 spring locks, 5 on each side, 2 at the top, 2 in the middle, and 1 at the bottom. You should think of each of these as being like the music box in FNAF 2. Your goal is to wind them up as much as possible before you have to deal with other threats. I prefer to hold my mouse button down the entire time. You should hopefully have some sort of equivalent to this on other platforms. You're just going to go from spring lock to spring lock, winding one all the way up, then moving to the next one. This takes some precision to get used to. I still tend to overshoot it sometimes. You're going to start at the top left and work your way down one by one. Once you've wound up all the spring locks on that side, spin over to the bottom right and work your way up. You're just going to be going in a square the entire time. Top left, bottom right, top right, and back to top left again. Don't double back for any reason. Don't delay at all. Just follow this pattern the entire time and wind each spring lock to full. Now let's talk about the Minireenas, which are the other threats on this night. So they will climb up the suit. From my experience, one always spawns on the right side first. So what you're going to do is keep an eye on that Minireena climbing up on the right side. I like to memorize the position of the one that follows climbing up on the left side. So whenever I'm on the left side, I can kind of tell how high on the suit the other one is too over on the right side. So what I like to do is just memorize that position, and then once the Minireena on the right gets as high as possible, like not all the way to the top of the suit, but to the point that you can't see its head anymore, preferably, then you're going to wiggle 4 times. So on PC, you're going to do A, D, A, D, and this will 100% guarantee that the Minireena falls off. Like, see, I'm not wiggling as soon as I see the Minireena. I'm just waiting until it gets pretty close to the top, then I'm wiggling, and I get both of them to fall off. This is to maximize the time between the Minireena spawns, and also to make sure that I shake off 2 of them at the same time. So yeah, you're just going to be doing this. A stopwatch is pretty much necessary for this night, by the way. A night in this, well, this night, I guess. This is one of the only time-based sections in the entirety of Sister Location. So it lasts exactly 3 minutes from the time that you can start winding up the spring locks. So that's how long you have to last, is 3 minutes. And it's very important to use a stopwatch here because you're going to shift your tactics a little bit as it gets later into the night. So what you're going to notice is once I get to about 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the night, then what I'm going to be doing, you're just going to be doing this until then, just wind each spring lock to full, and just follow this pattern over and over. Once the Minireena gets really close to the top, then you're just going to wiggle exactly 4 times, and guarantee that the Minireena is going to fall off. So you're just going to follow this pattern until there's 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the night. And then what you're going to start doing is you're going to limit your max wind of one of these to 3/4 of the way. So pointing at the 3 position on the clock, I guess, that is the spring lock. So you'll see now I'm only winding these to a maximum of 3/4. Sometimes not even that high. Sometimes I'll only do half or just over a half. And then once it gets to about 2 minutes and 30 seconds or 2 minutes and 45 seconds, anywhere in between there, I prefer to lean more on the 2:30 side, then you're going to start winding the spring locks to a maximum of half. If you absolutely think you can try going a few ticks over half. And then once you get to about 10 seconds left until 6 a.m., I guess you could say, so once you get to 250, then what you're going to be doing, you're not even going to be winding these things to half, right? You're just going to wind them a few ticks. You're going to pay attention to the ones next to it, and then you're going to go to those as soon as they're about to run out. So as soon as they're about to hit that 12 position, going all the way around clockwise, then what you're going to do is shift to that one, and you're going to wind it up. So you don't have to wind these up to full or even half. All you're going to be doing is just trying to stay alive, just keeping these things up. You can wind them to full until 215, then do 3/4. Then once you get to about 230, I prefer to do, then you start winding them up to about half. And then once it gets really close, like you're about 5 or 10 seconds away from getting to 6 a.m., then all you're going to be doing is just winding them up for a few ticks so they're not going to run
cameras. Now all you have to do is wait. I'd recommend that you keep the spring locks wound up. Your breathing and your heartbeat are causing them to come loose. You don't want them to get too loose. Trust